Hello. Hi, there you are. How you doing? Hello, my lovely, lovely lot. Kisses and hugs for those who love them. I'm Lindsay. This is Peace with PDA. You are welcome here. This is our coffee break, which is just my come and chat with you each week, come and share a bit of space with you, see what comes through, have a little share, have a little invitation into whatever percolates through me to bring into the space. I've got my cards here. I love to pull you one of these. These are our Wisdom for Healing cards. So I'll pull one of these out in case it has a little message or guidance for you. And then we can do some tapping. If you've never done tapping before, we just tap on the face and body on some acupoints like this. It's really good at soothing our nervous system. And it soothes and calms down the amygdala, which is that part of the brain, that primal brain that goes into the fight, flight, freeze, fawn response. So it's really good at calming everything down for us as parents so that we can be in a better place to move forward in our parenting and hold space for our family as things are coming through the day. Because we know, don't we, when we're like mega stressed and really tense and full of frustration and anger, or we're really exhausted and we're wiped out, you know, we know, we can't miss it. But there are so many subtle ways in which we as parents are feeling dysregulated, which have become so normalised by us, by society, that we don't even recognise it's happening to us, you know. In EFT, in tapping, we talk about how we have an energy system in our body, which is, you know, something talked about in an everyday way in so many Eastern cultures, but not so familiar to us in Western culture, always talking about this. But we have energy that flows through our body, just as we have other systems that flow through our physical body. And we have this incredible mind, body, and inner knowing connection that all flows and works together when it's all working as it's designed to. But to work in that way, we need to be in a calm, relaxed and open state in our mind and body to allow that to happen. And it can take the smallest things to set us off into this kind of resistance and this disruption and this static in our body's energy system. And it can be so familiar and so normal for us, we don't even know what's happening. We just know that we're not really being able to think clearly in a moment. There might be a bit of sense of urgency that we need to make a decision about something and we can't get there, you know. And we've really lost contact with our higher thinking brain. Even if we're in that primal brain reaction in that moment, we can't even get in access with our higher thinking, but we also can't get in access to our intuition and our inner knowing and all that gorgeous guidance. And, you know, our body is really coming from a survival state. And I think as the parents that we are, we know this all too well. We've all had at least times we've walked through where we really have felt like we're in survival mode as a parent, as a family. And it can be really hard to know that, but feel like the things that you would want to do to get you out of that feel inaccessible. They take time, they take money, they take situations that just don't feel in reach at the moment. And that's why I love the tapping, because it's a self-help tool which is free, super quick, super easy to just pick up and learn. And you can do it anytime, anywhere. I mean, you can literally do it when you go for a pee, or you're waiting for the kettle to boil, or if you are with a child who's dysregulated and they need you to be quietly present, but you know you can just take that little step back. Even then, if they can tolerate it, if you're in eyesight, you can have a little tap gently on these acupoints and it can just help to calm you, so you can be in that relaxed and open state again, and you're ready then to receive. You're able to receive guidance, inspiration, thinking, knowing, and the energy comes back to your body. All the hormones and all the chemicals that are designed to flow around our body are all working again, our heartbeat and the blood flow, and you know, everything's returning to the state of relaxation, and our digestion, you know, really being able to digest life and take the learning and the knowing and the growth out of all the things we're growing through. So it's really important that we have ways to come back into that state, and of course there are lots of them, you know, walking in nature, doing yoga, going for a swim, going in, there's lots of lovely things we can do, meditations and all kinds of things that help us to calm, you know, breath work, all kinds of things. So I'm all for all of them. I recognise that time in my life where it was hard for me to pull on those tools, because I found it so hard to get that space, to get that time to even go into those things. And this is something which anybody can just integrate, whatever is going on, you know, even if it's just before you fall asleep or just before you wake up and you've got 1 minute. This is something you can do. So I love it so much. There are so many things you can do with this work, and it can go really deep. But that application of just being able to tap on these acupoints and soothe and calm us wherever we are, whatever life is bringing us, whatever it's touching on the inside and whatever it's bringing up for us, whatever it's going on, you know, the fact that we can do this just here, calm, easy, like that, done. And it can transform, absolutely transform the state we're in. And when we transform that internal state, it transforms our external state and experience and relationships and everything in the most powerful way. Oh dear. So I was thinking about this morning about the complexities of family dynamics and relationships, which are our most glorious teachers, aren't they? Our little, you know, mini society that's in our little family, different people, and especially with you guys that I'm talking to, talking about real differences, you know, very tangible differences in many instances between individuals in that family units, in their way of thinking, their way of being, how their needs need to be met, and how they interact socially and in communication and interaction. And, you know, there is so many glorious points of difference. And as the parent, we're often sitting in loving curiosity about how that dynamic can come together. And I think it's really, really important that we remember how much of an important part of that dynamic we are. Because I think we can be very child-focused as parents. It's kind of like, you know, the societal norm, isn't it? To like focus on our children and focus on their needs. And we forget how much of their environment and meeting their needs and having that dynamic in place in the family we are. And not just what we're doing, but how we're being and how we're feeling, you know, is a really important part of their life experience and the flow of our family. So I really invite people, parents, you guys, to sit with me in finding their inner knowing of themselves as a really, really important part of the seeking they're doing in how can I help my child, if not the most important part. If not the most important part. And most of us, the life experience we've had, we have not had the privilege of really being held in a space to be so heard and honoured and to have ourselves reflected back to us in fullness and embraced. And we've got a lot of conditioning, a lot of imprinting that we walk with. And it's a deep journey to start to notice what's really me. What's really me? Who am I? What do I need? What do I like? What drives me? What excites me? What lights me up? You know? We talk a lot about our children and their friendships. What about my friendships? You know, I had the same conditioning as most people of friends were the people that were in my year at school, and you know, there's a lot of rules around how you ought to invite this person and this person to parties and social occasions. You know, we have all of this stuff and we carry it into our adulthood. And there's a lot to look at because we deserve to be awakened and enlivened and really aligned and resonating with our true self. We deserve that, and the world deserves to have that of us. Our children deserve to have that of us. It's a really exciting journey with lots and lots of layers. Right, let's have a card and see what this has to bring. So if this is bringing anything up in you that you're finding you're seeking, you're intrigued about, you're asking of, any questions, if you're looking for some guidance, intuition, just notice what that is as I'm shuffling these cards. Don't worry if you're watching this on replay. Energy doesn't worry about little things like timelines. This is always a good PDA parent card, I feel. Okay, so this is the card that came. Relinquish control. So we're talking of letting go of control. The puppeting strings are breaking there. Notice where you find yourself in this picture. Let's have a read of the card. The colour's drawing its attention to me today. Blue around the throat chakra, and I've got my blue around my throat, there you go. And speaking our truth, speaking with our authenticity. Today's lesson. I'll read this and just put it out there. If it's for you, take it. If it's not, leave it. It says, identify one person you feel the need to control and think about why that power is so essential to you. That person came to my mind, and there was a tension and a feeling of uncomfortableness and guilt around that. And I'll share that into the space in case anything's coming for you, to make this a safe space to bring those feelings, which are just so human of us. Okay. What do you fear if your hold is released? What do you fear will happen if you let go of that control? Your goal is to recognize how much stress is generated in your body through the need to control someone else. Oh, I can really feel that now. And I just invite you to come into your body. You can even close your eyes if you want to. And just notice where you feel that resistance, that tension, that fear showing up in your body right now as you imagine letting go of the control, or an aspect of the control that's showing itself to you. I felt a tightness in the breath. I felt a tension in the jaw. Oh, we got a lot of tension in our jaw. We're talking about opening the throat and speaking our truth just then, so that's a good one. Keep scanning the body and notice there's no need to rush this. There's some tightness around the top of my shoulders and my back, just little subtle pockets of energy where it's not in complete ease and flow showing itself to me. Notice where yours is. These are all our places where the energy has got blocks and barriers from old wounds, old hurts, things we're trying to protect, ideas that we're holding on to. And that energy is really kindly showing itself to us so that we can alchemize it now and have a more free-flowing experience of ease and freedom. Scan through, check the belly, down the legs, up the back, around the scalp, around the eyes. And I'm just being invited to guide you to notice if there's a particular emotion coming through. I felt a wave of, almost at the same time, a sense of relief in the invitation, and some tears wanted to flow with that relief and that release. But also in there was some sadness. Notice the emotions that are showing up for you. And this is where we're going to do some tapping. And we start by tapping on the side of the hand underneath the little finger. And this is where we just make friends with what's showing up. We have such a habit, such a tendency to want to push away the parts of us that feel like not the most light and glorious parts of us that we want to put on display. You know, the shame, the guilt, the despair, the tension, the resistance, all this stuff. It's the stuff we want to keep in the shadows. And we're just saying, it's okay. Come on in. You're part of my wholeness too. And as you tap on the side of the hand, you're just going to say after me, and even though this fear is showing up, I'm safe, I'm a great parent, I deeply and completely accept myself, even though I'm scared to let go of this control. I don't know what will happen, and I don't think I'll like it, but I love and accept myself. Oh, even though I really don't want to be a control freak. I don't like this about myself that I'm holding on tight. I don't like this. I'm resisting this part of myself. But it's here. It's been showing up, trying to keep me safe, doing its best. And I'm grateful for that. And I'm ready to grow. I acknowledge this feeling showing up, ready to be released, and it's safe for me to let it go. I am safe, I am enough, and I love and appreciate myself. And tapping up on the eyebrow with this fear in my body. This fear about letting go of control. This tension where I'm holding on tight. This resistance where I can't let go. This control that I'm holding on to. This fear of letting go. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? What if I don't like it and I can't take it back? What if I can't manage? What if it all goes wrong? What if I hate it? What if I drown? What if I fall? This fear of letting go of control. What if I'm judged? What if I'm criticised? What if it's just a complete effing mess? What if it just all falls apart? There's such peace and freedom in that, and so much fear all at the same time, isn't there? That glorious sense of just letting go and letting all the chips fall. And I can breathe. And I can just let it go. I don't need to hold this anymore, and it feels good, and then it feels really scary, and oh no, I want to hold again because I don't think I'm going to like it. Oh, I don't think I'm going to like it. It feels scary. It feels scary and overwhelming. And I'm tensing up again. And I'm doing just great. I love and appreciate myself in this glorious journey. And I'm doing just fine, right where I am. Noticing that fear, noticing that tension, noticing that desire to control. Maybe it's myself that I want to control. Maybe it's relationship with myself that I'm scared. Scared to let go of those strings holding on tight, needing to keep on top of things. Just noticing that fear, ready to release, but loving that part of me that's scared too. I'm giving myself a big hug. Yeah, really holding that heart space as I grow and expand. I'm sending so much love from my heart to you. I know you're all feeling it for each other too. Thank you for coming and watching with me, spending this coffee break time with me. I can hear my fam on the move now, so that's my signal I'm going to go and see how things are hanging this end. Some of you I am seeing in the group chat that we're on this weekend, because it's bank holiday here in the UK. We'll be on there tomorrow as well. So if anyone hasn't found us, the thread is in the Peace with PDA Facebook page if you need to actually go and look for it. I send invites to everybody, but Facebook is a bit of a thing. Doesn't always send them very well. So the chat's there, and you can actively come and join us if you want to come and say hi. It's just a hangout. It's just like a coffee morning where we can get together, but we do it online because that's our life, isn't it? And we do it over the weekend because that enables people across all kinds of patterns of timelines based on their country, based on their family's patterns, sleep patterns, all kind of things, to be able to check in and connect when they can. So you're very welcome to come and join us there. We're now into May for my membership space, the Freedom Centre. So the next access point for that will be coming into June, but I'll just give a heads up. If you're feeling that call to freedom, we've been tapping on that. The Freedom Centre is the ideal place for you as a PDA parent to be on this journey and come and do some tapping with us. So have a feel into if that's something you want to know more about this month, so you're ready for June. Lots of love. See you soon. Bye.